9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you ready? That's the Chicago way.
Buenas noches a todas, bienvenidos. What's up, cuz? Guess what? I'm happy. My team won. Welcome to What's Up, cuz, everybody. I'm your host, Jason Palmer. My team, the Miami Dolphins, a winning team. And my co-host, Lancey Irvin, my cousin who I love so much. Cuz, let me ask you a question. How did your team do this weekend?
You really know how to kick a person when they down, don't you? I mean, I'm gonna let you bask in the glory of your Miami Dolphins that put up a measly 70 points, and I got a bone to pick with you when we start that because I don't know why they just didn't break the record. Hell, if you'd have ran up 70, you might as well put up 77. I mean, it's not like you want to take a knee after you done scored 100 points. Stop it. I'm not trying to embarrass you any further. You already beat them by 50. But anyway, go ahead though. You got your Miami Dolphin shirt on. Go ahead.
I do. Welcome everybody to What's Up, cuz. Jason Palmer and Lance Irvin here to talk about everything going on in the world of sports, especially our Chicago sports teams. If this is your first time joining us, we welcome you to our show. If you are watching us via the Sports Zone Chicago Roku channel, which was launched earlier this year, we appreciate you tuning in via the Roku channel. You can take us with you and watch us anywhere in the world. I know when I travel, I take my Roku with me. That way I got my shows that I like to watch on Netflix and everything right there in the hotel room with me. If you do not have it, make sure you download that channel on your Roku. If you're checking us out on the Sports Zone Chicago YouTube channel, we appreciate you checking us out there. Go ahead and like and subscribe to that. It'll give you access to all the wonderful shows we have here on Sports Zone Chicago. And if you're joining us on the app because you are on the goes, if you're out there bike riding because it's fall, it's a beautiful time to ride bike, if you're doing your jogging because you're trying to get in shape, wherever you are on the go, you're taking us with you. We appreciate that. If you do not have the Sports Zone Chicago app, my cousin Lance Irvin is getting ready to tell you where you can get it.
You'll find it on the iTunes store, the Google store, and the Amazon store. So please follow us, like and subscribe us, and please do not have on a Miami Dolphin shirt. Okay?
So I'm trying to see what this is you wearing. Look like is that the LA Galaxy?
LA's Galaxy, it's soccer. I said, let me at least think about Messi, even though this is not the team Messi plays on. But I said, hey Jay, because I started to put on a Chicago Bears shirt, right? Then I thought about something that you said a couple of years ago. You said, see, they take us for granted. They take us for granted if we keep on, give marketing they stuff, saying how good they are, wearing they paraphernalia. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I just said, let me just throw on the soccer jerseys. I could just feel good about myself because yesterday,
it was rough.
After the first quarter, I really didn't feel good.
That was rough. That was a rough watch for Bears fans. And trust me, we're going to talk about the Bears, but what I don't want to do is talk about them ad nauseum.
No, I'm not doing that.
We're not trying to kill everybody's Monday
night.
Not
doing it.
We're definitely going to talk a lot of Bears coming up in a few minutes, but we wanted to start the show off with something really positive, something really, really happy that happened over the weekend, which was so important for the Irvin family, and you personally and your siblings and all of us who are members of the Irvin family, and that's God knows a million people. But, we had a distinct honor bestowed upon your parents, Mac and Louise Irvin, and I have plenty of photos But the honorary Mac and Louise Irvin Way in Chicago on 109th and Parnell. And I know we want to thank the city of Chicago and the alderman of the 21st Ward and former alderman of the 34th Ward for bestowing this honor upon your family. And we got so many photos. That's you and your beautiful wife Paula with the sign. And just a tremendous honor, Nick and Cindy. And who's that? Teresa? Who's that?
That's Erica.
That's
Erica McGee that grew up down the street for us. She lives in Atlanta. She has a podcast, and I've been on her podcast before. That's the only one was missing was you, cuz you did an excellent job getting the stuff out to the press and stuff. But I got tired of people asking me, "Where's Jason?"
Yeah, Jason was working.
I mean, Jason can fill them in. The press release was out of sight, and Jay, seriously, we appreciate everything you do for the family, because especially my family, because when it's 6 of us, right, Jay,
Right.
you dealing with 6 different personalities, especially your cousin Cynthia in the middle right there, because if she doesn't get her press now, and she'd tell everybody, my cousin Jason is my own publicist. He's my press person. All that. So she's telling everybody, talk to my cousin Jason. And she says with confidence too, chest sticking all out. I'm like, Jason's just okay. He probably in Miami.
No,
I got tired of people asking about you. But
I was not in Miami, yes.
But seriously though, Jay, we appreciate everything. It was a great honor bestowed on my mother and father. And we want to thank Alderman Mosley of the 21st Ward, excuse me, Rob Brooks, as he was out there. We had a great time, Jay. A lot of friends and family. Everybody helped make Saturday a great day. That's my nephew Cam back there in the background holding the sign up. But you have a lot to do with that sign too, Jay, because you was a part of the community over there and you was real helpful. So all our teachers, former teachers came out, Jay. We had the neighbors came out, just a bunch of people from the community. My roommate Tony Barnes was out there. Shout out to Ojo Barnes. I didn't get a chance to shout them out when I was out there, but your cousins, Jay, just to see grown men out there crying is a sight to see, which means,
Right.
Because you rarely see us cry, right? But just seeing guys like Antoine Walker started crying. Sean Marion was out there, Marco White was out there. Hey, Jay, I was happy to see my former teachers. When you see teachers you had in 3rd grade as young as I am, I was like, is that Miss Clemens? That can't be Miss Clemens. You know how the teachers come up, they smack you upside the head. Yeah, boy. You know how that is. But man, Jay, it was great. It was great. My mother and father, they helped a lot of kids. And just listen to people tell stories how Pops helped them to go to school and how they slept on the couch and Mama was feeding them some of her eggs and bacon sandwiches and stuff like that. So shout out. But we really missed you, though. I had to say that. Matter of fact, we missed you and your wife.
Yeah.
I mean, I still feel some type of way.
Duty call, man. I was trying. Well, we ain't gonna get into why I wasn't there because somebody switched the date on me. But okay, had it blocked off on my calendar. Thanks. But anyway, it was. I knew it was gonna be good. I was just praying for great weather, and you all got an absolutely beautiful day. A beautiful day. And when I saw the weather was gonna be good, I was like, man. I know we only supposed to have this thing shut down for a little bit of time, but it's going to probably a bunch of folks out there, the old neighbors and old teachers and teammates. And I saw IO out there as well.
Yeah, I forgot about IO. 12 was out there. IO came out there. Rick Malnati, who has the best pizza in Chicago, to me, from Malnati. Pizza was out there. See, I'm a Malnati pizza guy.
Oh, Lord, because at least I have to chime in.
I'm a Rick Malnati guy. Just seeing guys like, Wolf Nelson was out there. Clyde Travis, who's been on the show. I had a bunch of people out there, Jay. So it was a great time seeing my old coach Donna Williams was out there. So no, but it was great, truly great honor, Jay. Then the next day I turn around to see my Bears just get taken to the woodshed. But talking about Io real quick, Io done got bigger a little bit too, Jay.
Yeah, he hitting them weights, ain't he?
Yeah, he done got bigger. His checkbook then got bigger. I mean, his cars then got bigger and better. I was like, nephew, what you driving? Matter of fact, let me hold that for about a day. I'm not gonna say the car he's driving, but I'm like, let me hold that, nephew. So no, I was just happy, Jay. But Yeah, yeah, we need to. I need to call coach.
Yes,
We need to
yeah.
call coach. We need to make that happen. He's just a phone call away. Matter of fact, a quick story about Coach J when Pops was sick in the hospital. Whenever my mother and father go to the hospital, he had called Northwestern for them in the in a heartbeat. But he used to always send pizzas over there to all the nurses and doctors to make sure my father was getting taken care of. So shout out to Coach Rick. All the nurses, doctors, they was looking forward. Hey, when is the Malnati's pizza coming back so we can make sure we work that day? What is Lisa talking about, Jay? What is Lisa's favorite pizza place? It's gotta be Malnati's pizza.
Malnati's is her favorite pizza. It is her favorite pizza.
You.
So yeah, I knew she gonna chime in on that one. But yeah, without a doubt. Well, good. Well, again, congratulations to you all, and just thank you to everyone who supported us, even those who could not come out, but who sent words of encouragement and our Twitter page. Everybody was liking the photos and everything. So just a really huge honor for the family. Sorry I could not be there in person, but I saw cousin Kim there. I mean, our family was very represented.
Dewana, Kimberly. Oh man, it was nice. It was nice, Jay. We had a great time. We appreciate you once again, though.
Hey, no problem. All right, so let's talk some other topics. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
What we doing?
First thing I want to do is I want to talk about something that I couldn't talk about last week because you were prepping for this big event, so you were not here last week. But I had this on the agenda, but I felt I could not do this without you here.
Oh my goodness.
And then it kept getting even bigger and bigger and bigger. So I said, you know what? I'm going to add it as a big topic today. So let me just put this out here. Germany is starting you know what? Okay. Germany, the country of Germany is starting stuff. Andreas Obst, I think is how you pronounce his name, a basketball player for Germany, he had some stuff to say about the recent world championship that Germany won in basketball. And we have his exact quote. I'm going to post it real quick. Here's his exact quote. In the NBA, they've always had this attitude that they're the best at something. They can call themselves whatever they want. The bottom line doesn't change. We are the world champions. That's kind of a lot of stuff for somebody who ain't never won nothing before in this. Okay, Germany, all I'm gonna say is next year in Paris, when we all of a sudden now start bringing the A team, I want you to have that same type of energy, Germany, because I can guarantee you, them brothers who's about to play on the next year's team, they about to give it to Germany.
But Jay, I mean, right now at this point in time, he could run his mouth a little bit, right? Because they won it. So, I don't mind him talking, but now it's always after the fact. It's always a but. Like you running your mouth, but some of those guys that didn't play on the team, I understand that LeBron might be playing, Steph Curry might be playing. Some of those guys will show up next year. But I understand basking in the glory. Yeah, we whooped them. I probably would have been talking crazy too. But at the end of the day, Jay, I think the USA team was just too small. First of all, I really didn't feel comfortable because I thought our size wasn't right. I thought we was missing. I thought we needed some more bigs to go with Big Jackson in the middle. I thought we just didn't have enough size. I thought Bobby Portis was okay, but we were kind of small. So at the guard spots, we was pretty good with Anthony Edwards. I thought Jalen Brunson was fine, but we were missing some size guys. So, I mean, the guy is, AJ. See, in the words of Pops Irvin, Jay, that's why you have to beat people. Because when people beat you, they start running their mouths. They start making themselves feel good, right? You know the first thing what they was going to say? I mean, you knew what's coming. And, they had the Wagner brothers, excuse me, the one played in Michigan and stuff. They some good players, Jay. They had the Thies that played for the Spurs and stuff, right, like that. So they have some really good players, Jay. So you didn't lose to a team full of guys that couldn't play. They had a couple of NBA players on the team too. So I let them feel good about themselves. But let me ask you a question before you go into that. After you go into that. Do you think the USA should be able to change players for next year, or should the same team play in the Olympics? I've been having that conversation for a week and a half now.
Yeah, we should be able to change our team. Yeah, we should be able to change our team. Everybody else changing their team, Lance. Everybody else changing their team. The teams change from year to year. And it's basketball. Teams change from year to year, just like professional teams, college teams. Yeah.
So you think it's fair? You don't have a problem with the guys that was on the team, showed up for practice this year. you think guys like LeBron James,
yeah,
Tatum, Steph Curry, and those guys should leapfrog over them and be able to take their spots?
Yes, I do. I'm not liberal. I'm not conservative. I'm independent. And for me, when it comes to if it's going to be a fight, then let's fight. Let's not, we sent the junior varsity team over there anyway, because the varsity team has stuff to do. They making money. They doing commercials and doing stuff. So, okay, y'all won. But now you're going to start talking? Now you're going to start talking. Now you got something. Okay. All right, boy. We got we'll see 24.
Time out. Let me call you cousin Jason on this. Let me preface my. Did you just say we sent the junior varsity team over there?
We did. And junior varsity, in terms of they're not our absolute best players. And of course, Jalen Brunson is an NBA all-star. Of course, we got good players on the team. But we send our absolute best of the best? No. But we never do that when it's not an Olympic year. We never do that. So come them Olympic years, every 4 years, now come talk at me, partner.
See, Jay, that's the conversation I had for a couple of days last week. Like, they were asking me, I literally had a bunch of people asking me, is it fair? And like you, I said, yes, it's fair. I said, because at the end of the day, if you one of the better players, if you have a lot of things to do, if you play the long NBA season, I had to tell them the NBA season is long, Jay. Count preseason that starts in about a week, I think Io said. You go all the way until June? Then you want me to come back and dial it up a month later, or a couple of weeks later? That's a long season. That's a lot of wear and tear on your legs. So personally, I don't have a problem with people doing that. But if you deserve to be on the team, you'll be on the team. But Germany, Jay, I can't wait.
I can't either. We're going to whoop their ass by 30.
I can't wait.
Because they started talking. I'm not saying they're not good, but you started talking. Like, okay, so, y'all won. And you know what? Had they beat our best, let's say we sent our best and they beat them and they were talking, I wouldn't say a word. I'd be like,
no problem.
I'd be like, oh, damn. But when I said, dude, we didn't even send a center. Did we send a center on this thing? Who was the center?
Jackson. Jackson from Memphis. He was the biggest. I think Kessler from the Utah Jazz was probably the biggest player on the team. But other than that, you had Jackson and BP. That was it. We really didn't have a lot of size. You had Mikal Bridges out there. We really didn't have a lot of size, Jay.
Right. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, Lisa. Go ahead and post Lisa.
What did Lisa say?
Comment. That's a really good comment because it's absolutely 100% true. She said in track and field, we send the B team in qualifying races in the 4x100. And then we run the A team in the finals. That's exactly what we do.
See?
That's exactly what we do.
And I never really understood that at first. I was like, why?
Because can't nobody else beat it. Why the hell we gonna run them out in the preliminary round? Like we got a race against Ivory Coast. Come on, man.
So So Jay, let me ask you this: if I get us to the finals and they take my spot, I don't get a medal, do I?
No,
Is it wrong that you don't get a medal if you got us to this point?
no, you got put on TV. We acknowledged when you won the preliminary. you you can put yourself on the TikTok video, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. But you ain't getting no gold. No, you just run the gold.
Jason doesn't have a heart. Yeah.
I
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason doesn't have a heart.
do.
Jason doesn't have a heart.
Lance, this is like playing during the preseason game. You gonna play your starters all 4 quarters. Ain't nobody gonna do that. It's
So,
the preseason. You
so,
give them enough to get work in so that they don't get rusty. And then when it's game time, let's go, baby.
so my auntie Verb came. So my auntie
Yeah.
Verb, she came all the way from the south side of Chicago. She
Yeah.
flew to Barcelona. And and Jason said, "Ooh, that's my baby." So you get us to the finals. And Verb comes out. They call out the team. There's no JP. What would Auntie say?
She'd be like, I hope he ran his butt off during the preliminary. He didn't make the squad, all right. I mean, they still play an important role. You have to qualify. Actually, you know what? Let me be honest. I think it's more pressure on the track and field runners who are members of the B team than those on the goal. Because if you're on the B team,
Great point.
especially in them relays, if you screw up, like if you literally drop the baton, and it just happened at the World Championships in our 4x400 for the women. We talked about it on this show about a month ago. The young lady went past the line, they were out of bounds, and then they couldn't get the exchange, and we didn't even qualify for the final round. So it's actually more pressure to me on those in the preliminary rounds, because if you screw up, then everybody like, what? This is why you ain't on the damn 18. Go sit down somewhere.
See, that's why I love hosting the show with you, right? Because you said something I didn't think about. Now that you said that, it is a lot of pressure leading up to that event. Like Lisa said, you serving for your company. You
Yeah.
said it's pressure, but also, Jay, you have to understand your role too.
Yep.
You have to understand it. Nobody's job is too big or too small, right? And you get an opportunity to show what you can do. Who's not to say next year you won't move up and be on a varsity? Oh, I hate the way you said that. You get a promotion from the junior varsity to the varsity, right? But there's steps in everything that you do, and nobody's role is too big or too small. I don't have a problem with it either way. But like you said, though, leading up to the finals, that's a lot of pressure in track, Jay. Like you said, if you false start, you drop the baton. You only have so many opportunities. I think that who was that? Was that no, that's not Michael Johnson, who said all this training, 4 years of training, comes down to a 9-second race.
That's right. That's right.
You got that, but no, I thoroughly agree with you, Jay, and I think Germany is going to be competitive. They're going to bring some competition, but if we don't beat them by 30, Jay, is it a sign that we're not as good as we used to be next year?
Oh, well, I think that's already the case. I mean, here's the thing. I think everybody acknowledges that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's acknowledged that we've lost to some teams. I mean, they did the whole thing when Kobe had to get on the Olympic team that year because we had lost.
Revivers.
And the revive's like, wait, hold my beer. Let me get LeBron. Let me just, and they went over there and got it together. I mean, he ran his teammate over. He ran his teammate from the Lakers over international competition because Kobe said I needed to send a message. He needed to know. And that's the message. It ain't no different than what the United States government is doing right now with Ukraine. So if you don't know, the United States the other day decided, all right, let's send in, give them the U.S. Abrams tank. Lance, the Abrams tank is one of the most devastating weapons on a battlefield ever created. It is the best tank ever created. If you talk to any of your friends who are in the military who served, like I got, they say, oh, yeah, the Abrams tank, we can shoot the other dude's tanks before they can even see us, and we faster than them. Iraq tried to shoot us with them Soviet tanks, and the Abrams tank was blowing the turrets off of them things. The people were running. So,
Jay, I was sleep on that, Jay.
Oh, yeah, the Abrams tank ain't no part. So what I'm saying is the United States, in pretty much anything, when the country really wants to do something
Mhm.
and everybody gets behind it and we say, all right, we about to do this. Ain't too many people in the world gonna really be able to mess with us in anything, sports, finances, anything. It's just, we so busy fighting amongst ourselves half the time. That's how they catch us slipping. But if we really decide, yo, man, we about to do this, we gonna do it. And that's why I'm saying to Germany, man, you out here talking and you didn't play. You played against people that the average basketball fan was like, who was this?
What was that?
Right.
Tyrese Halliburton, who? And
Oh,
I
right.
like him. Let me ask you this, Jay. Do you think who would you bring back from the team this year? Would you bring like Anthony Edwards back, who's the team's leading scorer? Would anybody
I,
come back?
I would do it based off of how they're going to put the next Olympic team together. And I think one thing we have learned over these years, since we've been sending the pros to the Olympics since '96, is that we just can't send the most talented people. Like that was cool, like in '96 and 2000. We just like, you know what? Let's just send everybody, send all the Hall of Famers. I think now we've learned you do actually have to form an actual team. You
Mhm.
need shooters, you need rebounders, you need mid-range shooters, you need people who can play defense. So I mean, if we decide to put the team together, then there are going to be people who fit the realm of what they're doing, that philosophy for that team, and we'll go from there. So just put the best team out there. But come on, man, the best team we already know who's going to be. It's going to be Devin Booker. It's going to be Damian Lillard. It's going to be
Bron, Anthony Davis if he wants to play.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? And it ain't going to be no hope for nobody else. If we send our best players and they decide we going to play, and I don't even know if they've announced the coach yet. The Olympics.
I think Steve Kerr has the coach, right?
It's
I
a
think
Steve.
Steve
It
Kerr.
might
I
be.
think it's
It
Steve
might
Kerr.
be. Yeah. So we'll be all right, man. All I'm saying is, I just want to see the game we play Germany, and it's probably gonna be in the preliminary round. I bet you won't play no bench players that day. Since y'all want to talk all this stuff, Germany, okay, bet. I will holler at you in France in, I think it's like they said 300 days. We're 300 days away from the next Olympic. So all this little celebrating y'all doing, all the smack talking, all the wanting to taunt the USA players and laugh in our face. Okay, we gonna remember this. I will put them pictures up in the locker room the day we play Germany.
It's just gonna be interesting, right? Just seeing that. But if it's one player, I might keep Jay. I might keep Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards is a proven scorer. He has young, fresh legs. Can play on both ends. I think he had a really good. Tournament. So
Yeah.
I probably at least think about keeping him. That's one of the ones. After I thought about it, I said I might find a spot for Anthony Edwards. Selfishly, you want Jalen Brunson to stick around, right? Because he played on our AAU team, but you can't keep everybody. But one person they might keep, if they was picking right now, would probably be Anthony Edwards.
Well, we'll find out. Steve Kerr gonna put a team together. Remember, Steve Kerr was a shooter, and the international game is a lot about outside shooting too. So let's be honest. So I have trust me. This is one thing I have confidence that our government will actually get right when it's
do right.
Like, because they gonna be like, oh, okay, y'all want to talk? All right, well, we gonna stop fighting each other for a minute and come out here and whoop y'all ass and keep it moving. So
quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah. So I brought that up because, we had previously talked about Noah Lyles and his comments. So I just want to add this to it just to refresh everybody's mind. Noah Lyles said, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA finals and they have world champions on their head. World championship of what? The United States? And so Kevin Durant responded along with a lot of other NBA players. They said somebody helped his brother and a bunch of other stuff. And so then, we lose the world championship. So it kind of fed into the narrative. So, I'm going to give Noah his props. He said it without a doubt. And we disagree with it on the show. And I still disagree with it. I just think that, again, the situation for Germany to win was there, and they took advantage of it. And I don't take that credit away from them, But Noah, I hear what he's saying, but for real though, like if we really decide to send everybody, we really are the world champions. I'm just like, it's like hockey get the right to say that about Canada. You know what I'm saying?
And Jay, like we said, it's international players playing almost on every NBA team. Like when I looked over their roster, like I said, Thies plays in the NBA. The Wagner brothers played. They play the Michigan. They play, I think, for the Orlando Magic. I think, and maybe the Toronto Raptors or somebody. So it's NBA players, it's international players on most of these rosters, and I do think you should be called a world champion if you win the NBA title. That's just me.
Right. Ain't no other league. What y'all gonna send the league champions from Turkey?
Come on.
We gonna what they do?
Come on. Every NBA team, Jay, probably, unless I'm mistaken, probably has one international player.
Right.
At least one.
Yeah. I agree. So, but we'll give them their props. I mean, y'all won.
Yep.
Enjoy your little championship. Y'all better celebrate this thing real good for the next 300 days.
Hey, like you said, bring that same energy 300 days from now. Good luck.
300 days from now. I want that same energy, Germany. Don't be making no excuses now. Because we're going to be talking about you definitely right here on What's Up.
Oh, for real.
Without doubt. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And then
that was quick.
We're coming back with What Lance Knows. Since he wasn't here.
Oh, my show, my segment. My segment is back.
Coming back with your segment. I threw a couple new wrinkles in this one, baby.
Ooh, I can't wait. Matter of fact, I haven't put it on Facebook yet, cuz. Let me tell everybody, tune in. Ooh,
right. Everybody, you're watching What's Up, cuz. We're going to take this quick commercial break, and then we will be back. Stay tuned.
No, I don't know, though. I'm scared. I mean,
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You've called 911. This is an emergency line.
How long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Gomes. The lefty delivers. Driven into the air, left field corner. That's going to be a fair ball. Bouncing up against the wall. Suzuki racing around third. Getting the green light. He will head home and score. RBI double, Yan Gomes. Cubs lead 1-0. And here is Patrick Wisdom. Wisdom drives one in the air. Get out the tape measure. Long gone. Cubs lead. It almost clanked off the video board in left center. Booming home run for Wisdom, and the Cubs have a 4-3 lead.
You really can't hit it much harder than that. Patrick gets a little backdoor cutter from block, and he was on time. He was ready to hit when he got a pitch to hit, and hammers this ball into the bleachers in left center field.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to What's Up, cuz. I'm your host, Jason Palmer, along with my cousin, the coach himself, Lancey Irvin. Those highlights were courtesy of the Marquee Network regarding our Chicago Cubs here in the city of Chicago, who are trying to get into the playoffs. And, woo, Lord, they got 6 games left, and they got to play 3 in Atlanta and 3 in Milwaukee. And by the way, for you Cubs fans who are looking to come up here to Wisconsin to buy tickets to that final series, which could have your playoff hopes in your hand, they will not sell you tickets if you have an Illinois address, just so you know. And yes, I can buy you tickets, but I am charging a hefty fee because I am from Chicago. And that we do things around here.
Come out. Did you just say they won't sell you tickets if you have Illinois?
No, Brewers, they will not sell tickets to people who have like Chicago area zip codes. They started doing that about 3 years ago because they were getting tired of being called the Wrigley Field of the North with all the Cubs fans that would drive up and come to the game. So they were like, all right, player. So they stopped selling tickets. If you got on your credit card, that zip code is like 606 something, it's going to be like denied. But if you got a Wisconsin zip code, like over here, I can buy as many tickets as I use and then resell. I mean, I'm just saying.
Matter of fact, we're in the ticket business. We're in the brokerage business. Call my cousin Jason. Hit me on my social media platforms. We can see what I can do. We'll talk business.
Yes. And because you are Cubs fans, I will definitely charge you a premium. You are not a Cubs fan, so you will definitely be getting that premium. So, Armando, you hit me up, but it might cost you, my friend. So, anyway, all right, staying on baseball, we're getting ready for What's Up, Cubs. And we're here. We're getting ready to do What Lance Knows.
Let's see what your cousin talking about. Come on. Talk to me.
Today's topic is playoff baseball.
Oh.
Playoff baseball. Okay.
Ooh.
I want you to keep that in mind. All the answers. Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually Chicago playoff baseball. I made it.
Oh, Lord.
So all the questions have something to do with Chicago baseball playoffs.
All right. Let's see. Let's roll.
All right, so for those of you just tuning in for the first time, this is What Lance Knows, and I'm going to ask my cousin 5 questions to see what he actually knows about the subject. Now, here's the new wrinkle. If you get the correct answer, you will get a very happy red fox. Also known from Sanford and Sons, but yes, brother Red Fox.
That's my man.
Correct answer, you will get happy Red Fox. If you get the wrong answer, you will get unhappy Red Fox. What the movie Harlem Nights?
You shot me my pinky toe.
So we flipped it up. So you're either going to get happy Red Fox or you're going to get blind as a bat Red Fox.
Man, I'm getting 5 Red Foxes tonight, man. Let's go get it.
I got to be honest with you. This one is going to be kind of tough.
Go get it.
You've been off for a couple of weeks. You might be rusty.
Yeah, I might be, but I doubt it.
No,
see how good I am. Let's see how good I am.
All right, I'm going to say you might get 2 out of 5, but we'll see.
Ooh.
I tried to make this one hard.
Ooh,
all right,
let's go.
On, he is ready. Let's post question number 1 of What Knows. In 2005, I was named the MVP of the World Series. I also played for the Oakland A's and Kansas City Royals. In 2005, I was named the MVP of the World Series. I also played for the Oakland A's and Kansas City Royals.
Man. Oh, 2005. Oh, my goodness.
Actually, one of the easier ones.
Oh, I'm in trouble then. 2005. All right, who, bud? Give me the ugly Red Fox.
Wow, he's taking a guess. Do you even know who won the World Series in 2005?
You said it has something to do with the White Sox, right? That's what you said. You said it's Chicago. All right, who? Give me the answer, man. Give me.
All right. Well, give him a. Well, that's an automatic.
What's the answer?
I can't believe you didn't get this. You should be ashamed of yourself. The correct answer is Jermaine Dye.
Oh my goodness.
He's a member of the 2005 World Champion Chicago White Sox. Like, how do you
Oh
not
my
know?
goodness. Come on.
How do you not know that? Oh my God.
2005 is just such a
It's the-
blur, Jay.
It's the only year we won the World Series, Lance,
Just
in
a-
our
it's
lifetime. I mean,
just a blur. Jermaine
Lord.
Dye. It's
So
gonna be a
ashamed.
long one. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
it might be a
long
long. All right, he's over
It's
one.
gonna
All
be
right,
long.
let's
It's
see
gonna
if
be
he can
long.
rebound. Let's rebound. All right, here we go.
Come on.
Now, this one might be a little tougher, but we'll see. Question number 2. I was traded to the White Sox in 08. During the famous blackout game, game 163, I got an outfield assist. I also played in Cincinnati. I'm in the Hall of Fame. Now I'm a credentialed member of the media at NFL and MLB games. Now, this is a tough question because of the way I worded it. So I'm going to read it again, and I might help you. All right. I was traded to the White Sox in 08 during the famous blackout game, number 163. I got an outfield assist. I also played in Cincy. I'm in the Hall of Fame. Now I'm a credentialed media photog, that means a photographer, at NFL and MLB games.
See, I'm thrown off. See, I saw, not saying it's Griffey Jr. because I know he didn't play for the Sox, but he was taking pictures at the football game the other day.
What other clues? What other clues are you reading in that question?
Outfield assist. See, I'm in the Hall of Fame.
So it's an outfielder who's in the Hall of Fame that played for Cincy, and now they're taking photos. What is your answer?
Oh, not Big Hurt. All right, who is it? Not Bo Jackson.
Give me a guess. Just give me a name.
Not Bo. What did Bo play? Not Harold Baines. All right, who? 2008. Dang, who? I said Ken Griffey.
No, you didn't. You said
I did say that.
You said it's not.
I said it. Oh my goodness.
He did it, Sean. Did I mishear what he said? I thought he said, "I know it's not Ken Griffey."
Tell me, Griffey played for the Sox for a minute. I never knew that.
You muted.
Yes,
Sean,
yeah, he did say it's not. I know it's not Ken Griffey, although he was taking pictures of the football game the other day.
I saw that.
It's not Ken Griffey, and I was like,
How long did Griffey play for the Sox? For a cup of coffee?
Literally, maybe half a cup, maybe an espresso, and then he was done.
He had a latte. Oh, come on, man.
He got traded to the White Sox at the trade deadline in 08. He played in that famous game against Minnesota where he gunned the dude down trying to score. He played for Cincinnati. He also played for Seattle, but I figured if I said that, you would have known who it was.
I'm like Griffey. I never knew he played for the Sox. I'm like, it can't be Griffey. I'm like,
hey, remember Ken? He had Manny Ramirez. He had Ken Griffey Jr. He got all those old guys who trying to get squeeze one last decent season out of them. Yeah, remember that because that was Kenny's MO. Just one last season from all these aging veterans who are way past their prime.
Dang, I'm like, tell Lisa, you're gonna have to really help me on this one, Lisa. We just don't tell
I just wouldn't post the answer for you.
Post Lisa's playing Ken Griffey. I wouldn't have known that. I'm like, I just saw him taking pictures at the football game.
You actually knew it. You just didn't say it. That's why.
Trust yourself. Trust yourself, Lance.
That's a good point. Oh my goodness.
All right, let's go to question number 3.
Lisa, I need you to chime in faster, Lisa. Come on. Lisa's my phone ain't friend.
All right, question number 3. I went to the playoffs in 1981 with the Expos and in 1989 with the Cubs. Now retired in
Andre Dawson,
Florida, I run a funeral home as a licensed undertaker. Chicago's Wind and I have the same nickname.
Andre Dawson, the Hawk.
He's going with Andre Dawson, Sean, the Hawk. Is that correct?
Come on, talk to me nicely. I was about to say I can't get shut out.
He got one. He got one.
Woo.
Andre Dawson, also
The Hawk.
known as the Hawk, just like the Chicago Winter Wind, which is coming probably next month. But yes, that is the correct answer.
Give me
Great
my
job.
toothpick. Give me my
All
toothpick. I'm about to say I can't get shut out. Ooh.
All right, good
Woo.
job.
Would
That
have had
makes you
two.
now what?
One for three.
1 for 3. All right, he's on the board, ladies and gentlemen.
Lisa was late chiming in. Lisa, come on, Lisa. I need you, Lisa.
She's like, I ain't helping her with no damn Cubs players. All right, here we go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Question number 4. Question number 4. Ooh, that's a good one. And it's recent. I was the winning pitcher the last time Lance's White Sox won a playoff game on September 29th, 2020 against the Oakland A's.
Not talking about Lance
I
Lynn,
was
are you?
traded this year at the trade deadline. Maya can't stand me. That is the key. Well,
See, you
that-
messed me up. I want to say Lance Lynn.
Okay, so this is a combination of you.
I
Have
was
to
traded
Maya.
this year.
You have to
This
know
year,
Maya.
who's my
So think about who was on the team in 2020.
Lucas Giolito?
the
Is it
playoffs.
Lucas?
So I'll
I'm going
read
with
it one
Lucas
more
Giolito.
time.
I'm going
I
with
was
Lucas
the same
Giolito.
pitcher the last time Lance's White Sox won a playoff game.
I want to go with Lucas. I'm
against
going
the
with
Oakland
Lucas.
A's.
I'm
I
going
was
with Lucas.
traded this year at the trade deadline.
I'm taking Lucas.
Maya can't stand me. Lance says Lucas Giolito. Is he correct? He is correct. He is correct. Lance Irvin changed his answer just in the time.
Woo.
Lucas
Call
Giolito.
myself.
Lance Lynn was not on the team. I'm glad you put it.
Yep, put it back.
Good job. Good job. All right, he's back at 500. 500.
Woo, you done stepped your game up with these questions, cuz.
Yeah, I know, these are good ones. You got to really read
these good ones.
the clues are in the questions, Lance Irvin. The clues are in the questions. All right, here we go.
Woo. I should have 3 because truthfully we should count the King Griffey Jr. because he had a cup of coffee. He had a latte. He had a latte with skim milk.
I'm gonna give you credit for that.
Skim milk.
No.
Dang.
All right, here we go. Final question in what Lance knows. Ooh, that's a good one here. Woo, make sure you read the question now. Here we go. I batted .348 in the playoffs with 8 hits, an RBI, and 4 runs scored in 13 games during my career. I played in the 1992 World Series. Oh, crap. Wait a minute. So I actually screwed this question up. All right, let me give you a hint. This person is not a Chicago person. They're not a Chicago person at all. At all. So this is just a general one. So I'll give you that one, all right? I batted .348 in the playoffs with 8 hits, an RBI, and 4 runs scored in 13 games during my career. I played in the 1992 World Series. Nowadays, I coach and make commercials for an insurance company.
Nowadays, 92. I think was that when Atlanta was making a run.
Okay.
I think Atlanta was making a run.
Okay. So read the question. You think Atlanta was making that run?
Nowadays, I coach and make commercials for an insurance company. Talk to me. Let me think. Glavin, Smoltz. Deion Sanders.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see.
I'm going with Deion.
Deion Sanders.
Going with Deion. Talk to me nicely. 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 Talk to me nicely.
Coach Prime, way to go.
Talk to me nicely.
Oh, man, Coach Prime, yes, he was playing football for either the Cowboys or the Falcons in 92. I think it was the Falcons, but I could be wrong. I think he was playing for the Falcons football in 92 and the Braves in 92. Coach Prime played in the World Series.
Talk to me nicely.
Man to ever play in the World Series and in the Super Bowl. So the answer was Deion Primetime Sanders. Very good.
Hey, Jay, I walked that thing down. I said, I think that's when the Atlanta Hawks was the Atlanta Braves was making a run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, I should have been 4-1. I should have been 4-1. Those some tough questions. I should have been 4. I should have got 4 right.
No, you're not getting that, dog. We ain't
should have got 4 right. Hey, Jay, I'll tell you what, though.
Yes.
Think about that, though.
And Justin Fields should have thrown the damn ball, yes, but he ain't getting credit for that either. So I'm sorry.
not even going to get started. But think about how good that man was.
Woo,
That man was getting off airplanes, running from the helicopters, wherever he was running from, going and hitting that night, playing. Come on, Prime, man. They can't tell me Prime not a bad man, Jay. You have to have the right attitude, the right mindset. Think about what his body was going through, too. Think about that now. And he was an integral part. Like, he was playing. It wasn't like he wasn't playing. No, man, that's a bad man, Jay. On the field and off the field. I think I always liked Deion Sanders. Was you always a Deion Sanders fan, Jay? Did you like Prime?
Not when he was at Florida State, because he had to go against my Hurricanes, and I couldn't stand his ass.
But why you didn't like Warren Sapp them was good. Sapp and them, Derek Thomas and them, what Thomas on that team? Them some bad boys.
They bad boys. I ain't taking credit for them, taking no credit away from them, but I wasn't pulling for them. They wasn't on my squad.
Who's your favorite Miami Hurricane of all time?
I
was about to say, you're going to talk about the playmaker. I figured you were going to say, when I ask a question, you're going to say the playmaker.
Playmaker, baby. Easy. Number 2, Devin Hester.
You take him over Vinny Testaverde?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael Irvin, Devin Hester. They're my 2 favorite Hurricanes of all time. And we're going to
take Devin Hester, huh?
Devin need to be in the Hall of Fame, too, by the way.
You didn't like Warren Sapp?
I love Warren Sapp. I love anybody play for the Canes, but
you taking Hester over Sapp?
Yeah. In terms of my favorite, I like
your
them.
Favorite.
I like exciting dudes. Them just Devin Hester in college was incredible. I mean, he was an actual quarterback in college.
Sean, who's your favorite too, Sean? See, I got to go with
Mine was Ray Lewis.
Mine
was Ray Lewis because of his story. I read his story. Like, he's a pretty kind of a jagbag once he got money. But I remember him saying, like, he had one pair of pants, a couple of T-shirts. He had one pair of pants when he went to the University of Miami. And that was the reason that he was so angry and so hard and so violent and on the field, is that he had one pair of pants. And him, like Deion, same story. They were playing to get their mom out, get their mama house. And so he was a bad man. He was a bad man at the U. You didn't want to run a slant. And that was back when you could destroy. You can go helmet to helmet, put your helmet under somebody's chin. You didn't want to run a slant to his side.
I mean, Sean, just to hear him talk with the fashion, all I had in my mind was to seek and destroy. Think about that now. Jay, you running a sledge, Sean, you like, I'm going to tear his head off if you come across it.
And you probably, you know what? And what a lot of guys would do, they probably yell, I'm coming. They see the slant. When that ball's in the air, they're yelling. And that receiver's like, you got to make a business decision. Like, all right, I'm scheduled to go to the NFL pretty highly, okay? Do I go a concussion protocol for the rest of the season?
When they didn't even have concussion protocol.
When they even have, or do I risk myself laying on this grass and getting carted off on a stretcher? Or do I try and be a hero, catch this, and show NFL scouts I can take a hit?
That's good. I'm surprised you said Ray Lewis. Because I thought
Football Digest. There was a story. It was a Football Digest, a little magazine. And they interviewed him, and that's when I was like, dude, I really like him. I
thought you would have picked, because with all the running backs we had, I was like, he gonna either say Clinton Portis, Frank Gore, or Willis McGahee.
Portis might be second or third, but the running back room after that, the running back room, and don't forget the edge. Don't forget the edge. Edgerrin James too. So they had that running. There was a whole. I'll just say Ray Lewis and then running backs. And Miami was quarterback U for a while, and then they became running back U for a while.
Man, like Edgerrin James, like you said, though. I mean, those guys right there was putting fear in people's heart.
Edgerrin James, Clinton Portis, Frank Gore. Don't forget Jared Payton was down. JP was down there.
And if it wasn't Ray Lewis who was going to hit you, Sean Taylor was going to take your head off, or Ed Reed.
Jonathan Vilma a few years later.
Vilma was really good. Them was really good. I mean, you could name during that time everybody on their team literally. They was player after player after player. You can't go wrong with who you pick. But I was always a big Warren Sapp fan because he was light on his feet. He was big. He was gonna talk that talk, and I mean he had swag about him too, though. But probably if I think about it, I probably have to go with the playmaker though.
But truth be told, don't forget Russell Maryland, Whitney Young's very own.
Russell Maryland, Whitney Young's finest class.
That was like the first. That was like the first time. Well, because they hadn't blown up yet. Right. That was like the first time that Miami ever came out of ever had to come out to Chicago for talent. Yep. You know what I mean? They came out like you don't need to come out of the South. The hell shit. You don't even have to come out of
Texas.
You know what I mean? Like now you ain't got to go to Texas, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi. It's all in that. Yep. Louisiana, those 4 states. If you want to go to Texas, well, increase the pool. But all the talent is down there. They never have to come out, and they came out for Russell Maryland.
You know what? I never understood. You know how you hear stories about how good Texas is in high school, right? Football in Texas. I remember when I worked like A&M and SMU, like when I literally used to go watch some basketball practice. Well, they have football too at some point in time. And I walk out there, Sean, I see about 30, 40 college coaches out there watching them guys work out. Then when I was going to games, like you know how you driving down the street, I'm like, dang, that stadium lit up. It's about 5,000 to 15,000 fans in there watching football games. That's when I was like, this is serious business, right? They not playing with it. I mean, it's high level competition here, but that was on a whole different level. But like you said, for them to have to leave the South to come in to get somebody like Russell Maryland, that tells you how good Russell Maryland was.
Funny story. So when I was in broadcast school back in 2014, 2015, I was working security and I left teaching. And I was at the Under Armour store and a dude walked in, right on the corner of Michigan and Ohio. And a dude walked in and his family's from Texas. And we were talking and he was like, he said, well, he goes, would you ever think about, coming down to Texas to coach? I'm like, nah. I was like, I left. I'm like, I was down in, I was in Italy. I said, playing ball. I said, lived in New York. I said, I'm cool here in Chicago. Maybe if it was 6, 8, 10 years prior, then yeah, possibly. But at this point, it was only 9 years ago. And we got to talking. And he was like, he goes, just so you know, he goes like head coaches make over $100,000 for high school. I was like, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, assistants make 30 to 40,000 easy. Yeah, head coaches, they don't teach, they don't do nothing. That's their job is just head coach.
In high school?
Yeah, I did.
High school.
Did you see me do this?
The dude told me high school. He's like, he goes, here's my number. And we were talking. He goes, they got they just built, I forgot what town, one small town. He goes, they just built a 50,000 seat stadium. He goes, and it's not uncommon. He goes, if you get a 20,000 seat stadium, that's small. That's small. 20,000 seat stadium for high school.
Jay, you didn't know that's what those coaches made out there?
The coaches were making that.
Jay, they got guys.
That was 9 years ago, so you can imagine it's at least $150, $200 now.
They got guys making 175, 150, easy.
Well, I knew the referees were making the money because I think I told you guys the football referees in Texas get a percentage of the gate.
And you got 80,000 strong.
Exactly.
This is like,
man. And Cherie said, "I got a job in Texas. Volleyball will no longer be my number one sport."
Kiss my toe.
Hey, Jay. They got
number 25 offense.
They have coordinators making about 70,000.
Yep.
The head coaches, they not teaching. No, like Sean said, then they have like a PE period where it's nothing but football players, basketball players. They're the only ones in that class, and they working out to use that to practice and work out. Yeah. Like the way they do their PE system for athletes in high school is incredible. Yeah. Like if you're on the girls' basketball, go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
We did that at Curie. A lot of our football players had PE period 1. See? So we would program it, have period 1. So you get there, that's your lift. That's your lifting time. Like you don't worry about what the hell we're doing in class. You just get your ass in there and lift. And if you're late, definitely don't be late when if I program you in first period and you're late, we'll see you after practice. we had plenty of stuff, but they'd come in and it's a way for you to monitor your team, get them in there. And it was literally I'd say 95% was all football players in my first period.
That's great. Then they ain't gonna be late for the rest of their class the rest of the day because you already got them there.
Man, first
Bingo.
period, last period, like it
Or
was
last period, yeah, either one.
This is a school around the corner from SMU called Highland Park. They have so much money. At the break, I'm gonna Google how much they coach make. If the football coach is not making $200,000, I'm shocked.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Never forget when that dude came and asked me if I wanted to go down there coach. He goes, I gotta make a phone call.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I was like this. See, I was like this.
I'm gonna tell you, you hit me 8 years prior, 10 years earlier. Yeah, I might go down there. But at that point, I was like, yeah.
They shine the weather nice, and they take that serious too.
Man.
Serious.
Charlie, yep.
Wow.
You have to build 20, 30, 60, 80,000 stadiums.
Exactly.
1,000 seat stadiums. Yeah.
Not playing.
Without doubt. All right, we're going to take our second commercial break of the show, and then we are going to be back, and we are going to talk football. We're going to talk Bears. We're going to talk about the record that took place down in South Florida, but we're going to talk a lot about our Chicago Bears and a couple of announcements we're going to make. So stay tuned. You're watching What's Up, Cuz. We'll be right back.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Sean Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms. On Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel, you can find us at Sports Zone Chicago. And on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
I faced one of the toughest challenges of my life right here. I couldn't swim. But I can still hear my drill instructor today.
Don't quit. If you quit now, you'll always quit in life. Go for it.
So I jumped in, unsure, apprehensive, and scared out of my mind. But I came up a Marine.
The proud, the Marines.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Dinged up by the Chiefs. Here's Fields on a play fake. Design run. Looking for a seam. Fields going to slide down after picking up a first down.
But it just, at this pace, I'm not sure if that's in the cards.
Gabbard over the middle, knocked around and intercepted. Quindell Johnson, the rookie from Memphis.
Role in fourth quarters. This is a deep, talented group.
Fields going deep. Oh, good catch, DJ Moore.
The game plays out like you said.
Fields on a slant. Moore's got it for the touchdown.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to What's Up, Cubs. We'd like to thank those highlights courtesy of Fox Sports. The 4 highlights from the Bears game. I don't know how Sean pulled that rabbit out of his hat, but he did find 4 positive plays to put on our show. Great job, Sean. Don't know how you did that, but Chicago Bears lost yesterday to the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're getting ready to talk about that. But before we do that, a couple of quick things. First, we have a missing person that we need to announce.
Oh, okay.
Don't know. Remember, here on the What's Up Cuz show, we are partnered with Black and Missing Incorporated out on the East Coast. And each and every episode, we do try to highlight a missing person of color here in the Chicago area. And tonight, we would need the public's help in helping us to find Janet M. Isaacs. Janet M. Isaacs is our missing person. We are searching to find. We do have a photo of her as well. We have a little poster. There we go. Courtesy of the good people at Black and Missing. Janet Isaacs is 62 years old. She's missing from Chicago. She's missing from over on the west side. She's 62 years old. Her family says she may be suffering from dementia. She does not have her wallet, her keys, or her cell phone with her. Those were all left at her home over on the west side. So, you know, we do a variety of missing person type stuff on this show. We have to also think about our seniors, our elderly people, people who face mental health challenges, children who come up missing. There's so many different dynamics in missing persons. So I want to highlight Janet Isaacs today on our show because she is suffering from dementia. She's 62 years old. She's last seen on the west side of Chicago. So if you see her, please notify the Chicago Police Department and let them know because her family is looking for her. All right. Thanks a lot, Sean, on that. Okay, Lance, you have some salaries based off of what we were just talking about in Texas?
Yeah, you know, I learned from my cousin Jason that's on the show, right? Sometimes you have to do a little bit of research. So I'm a research guy. So I just Googled it, found the article in 2022. Most DFW high school football coaches, that's just the Dallas-Fort Worth area we're talking about, make between $100,000 and $120,000. So I found some numbers. You heard of Dunkerville. Dunkerville is one of the biggest schools right out.
Yeah,
I call it Dunkerville U.
Ain't that what one of them catching sisters went to?
Yes, they did. Beautiful campus. Their coach made Reggie Samples $146,000. My man, Allen High School coach Lee Whittam makes $144,000. Lake Highlands $144,000 also. And I was shocked at this. I thought Randy Allen at Highland Park would make close to $200,000. He makes $141,000. Now, you know, the Dallas School District, we just talking about Dallas, these city schools like Chicago schools.
Right.
The average coach in the Dallas school system, Dallas call that DISD, the average is $90,000. Compared to Chicago, where you're getting a stipend for probably like $6,000. $90,000, Jay.
And that's all they do. Like they not working in the lunchroom. Nobody working security.
They're not doing security. They're doing a normal day to get there at 6 a.m. They talk about the normal day. Most coaches, maybe they go to a little class here, there, but practice, junior varsity practice at 11:45 a.m. Some of them come back, might have one more practice from 4 to 6. They might watch film at 7:30.
Oh my God, they on a whole different level.
Jay.
It's actually shocking to me. I know football in South Florida and Texas are different. I didn't know in Texas it was like a straight up job.
And let me tell you this. This says this too. Kimball High School, it's one of the schools in the city. In basketball, they win championship. The lowest paying coaches in the DFW are Dallas Kimball High School, Brett Harrison and Dallas White, which is a public school. These two public schools both sit at 90,000.
That ain't bad, dog. And the cost of living is cheaper down in Texas. So that ain't bad.
Jay. Oh, that ain't bad. And I know these schools too, Jay. But anyway, just So Sean, I'm getting tired of Chicago, Sean. So I'm gonna put your name out there to get a high school job. I'm gonna be the assistant to the head coach out there. I'm gonna be your assistant.
Sean
All I want to do is walk around. I want to be your hype guy. I'm just gonna be your hype guy. Yeah, Coach Sean. Let's go get him, Coach Sierra. Let's go get him. He can't hold your jockstrap, Coach Sean. Let's go get him, baby. Let's go get him.
Oh, you muted, Sean.
So the only thing you'd have to do, Lance, is to say with the Panthers, we'd have to get a logo, the logo of the school, the mascot, and I need a big ass foam chain around your neck and a little foam mascot there, and you got to wear that on the sideline. That's it.
Hey, Sean, then I'm gonna get our sweatshirts. Don't start none, won't be none. Finest. This ain't what you want. This not what you want.
You know where we at.
You know where we at.
Watch what you asked for. Watch what you asked for.
This is what we do. Hey, run a slant if you want to. This cruel and unusual punishment coming over here. But anyway.
That's incredible. That is really incredible. All right, good information. All right, let's talk about what happened yesterday. Oh, Lord, have mercy. The Chicago Bears went. Now, okay, in all fairness, we knew they were not going to win. We knew there was a chance they were going to get blown out. So those were no surprises. However, it's the way they got blown out. It's how incompetent they looked, how discouraging it was for the fans. They were down at halftime. What was it?
35 zip.
A zero at halftime.
A 34-0.
Justin Fields never, I don't know if he ever got to 100 yards passing. It was
11 for 22, terrible. Like 99 yards.
And so what made it so bad, Lance, was when you were on the show 2 weeks ago, we had our guy Herb Howard on. And we said, well, if it's really the coaching, then why don't Justin make the, adjustments? Why don't, and Herb was like, well, he can't hijack the playbook. He can't throw the coaches under the bus. And then last week, well, they threw the coaches under the bus. So I was like, okay, all right, Justin, I'm with you. If that's what you're going to do, then let's see what you're going to do. But you better back it up. You got to back it up now when you make that move. Or you're going to be looking like Germany. Going to be looking next year in Paris. So he basically threw the coaching staff under the bus, saying, I'm going to do what I need to do and play the way I need to play. And da-da-da-da. And then he went out there and absolutely crapped his pants along with the rest of the team. But they looked awful. They looked awful. Now, yes, we can blame the receivers if we want. But it's like every week we're just blaming somebody else instead of just saying this team is dysfunctional. Lance, talk to me.
Well, this is the third game, and we could say it's still early, right? But at some point in time, you have to show progress. And I just think that in this game, we didn't show any progress as far as I was watching. I mean, at least we got a sack. We've been 2 games without a sack.
Yeah.
We haven't really laid the hand on a quarterback, so I take the sack, right? Because prior to this game, Jay, when I was reading and watching, we hadn't had a sack. We didn't come. We were the only team in the NFL not to come even close to a quarterback. We came close just one time. Right. So yesterday's game was just indicative of seemed like we need. I don't know if we have enough talent, Jay, but when I'm watching, I'm sitting there like, we have to play better than this. And you knew the Kansas City Chiefs was going to be fired up. They're playing that Arrowhead. You got all the Swifties in the house. So you got Swifts, you got the Arrowhead crowd, but I just didn't like the way we played. So at some point in time, right, we need to I don't know, Jay. Pick it up. I really don't like the defense. I think the offensive line we banged up and we just hurt all over the place. I mean, and I hate to talk about Justin Fields, but we said on the show, like you said a couple of weeks ago, I said my statement was quote unquote, and I hate to curse on the show. Does he have any asshole in him? At some point in time, you have to change at some point in time. He talked the talk. I get it. But yesterday was just an epic failure. So I think we play, is it Denver on Thursday night?
No, Sunday.
Sunday. So Denver gave up like 9,000 points. At this point in time, Denver sucks. If Denver won a game, I think Denver might be 0-3 also.
They 0-3.
Right. So if we don't look good against Denver, I think I'm not gonna be a fair weather fan. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna have to find me a side piece team, but Miami. But anyway, it's just disappointment, and you feel bad for them, Jay, because they haven't won a game. I think this is what 14 straight, 13 straight losses. I mean, at some point in time, you need a win to make you feel better. So hopefully we can get the Denver game, but right now I don't think any phase of our team or any phase, I don't think we look good in anything.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
What's your thought, Jay? Talk to me.
I want to see the Kansas City game and just all of the events that happened last
prior.
So you had the defensive coordinator who resigned.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Go ahead. I got.
We got the defensive.
Write that down.
Alan Williams, he resigned in the middle of the week. He was not at the previous game because they said he was gone for personal reasons. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As a journalist, I always try to respect when they say a person is away for personal reasons. Now, media, our job is to speculate. However, when they say personal reasons, I tend to give them the benefit of the doubt because I know life happens. You can have a death in the family. Anything can happen. So when they say personal reasons, I take them at their word. Okay.
Talk to me.
He wasn't there for personal reasons. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then you started getting all the unconfirmed reports about why he was removed. So now the report I'm most comfortable with talking about is the one with Adam Schefter, who said that the Chicago Bears the HR department was involved in his leaving without being specific. Okay, so that tells me he obviously violated club policy at some point. Now, what the policy was, don't know. But he violated some policy. Okay, cool. That's what we know. And I'll say this. This is now a reflection on Eberflus and now a reflection on Ryan Poles as manager. Okay? Because now it's like, Ryan Poles, are you vetting people? What are you doing here? Ryan Poles, you paid P.J. Walker how much money because you thought he was going to be the backup and you ended up cutting him in preseason? So I think one thing that the Bears fans have to do, as I'm trying to give you a little bit of levity, is you have to realize this is everybody's first time. And I think that was the biggest mistake that the Bears made. You got a first-time general manager. You got a first-time head coach. They making terrible errors in filling out the personnel. And it's affecting the team. And the players are not good either. But I think you have to Kevin Warren is now the president. It's going to be very interesting to see what he does at the end of the year if this continues. But that was bad yesterday, man. There was nothing positive I could look at and say, oh, well, the Bears can hang their head on this. I mean, you kicked the field goal, but Santos has always been good, but it ain't going to cut it, man. Ain't nobody playing good enough. The receivers, the line, the defense, the quarterbacking, it's just bad, man.
Let me ask you a question you touched on. And you're a professional journalist. Alan Williams, first of all. I mean, you resigned the second game of the year. Did they say for health reasons the first, or they went personal?
So it was health reasons.
Health first. Then it went to what? Personal. Because you and I both know. I've coached. I had health reasons.
Mhm.
They came out and said, I won't say it, but then I know they said he has cancer. He won't be able to coach. Right.
Mhm.
Most of the time they come out and tell you, at least at some point in time, whether it gets leaked out or what type of health challenge you had. That's what I learned from you. That's what I learned from Pops.
Mhm.
Then they come back, Jay. I mean, so Jay, what have you heard? What's the one that you could say, oh, okay, that's probably a little bit more credible than the other?
I would say the only thing I've heard that I'm putting a lot of credibility in is that the HR department got involved. That's what I will give a lot of credibility to, because that tells me whatever happened, it was serious enough where they needed to get involved, and either they were going to look at this and find a reason to possibly suspend him or possibly fire him. One of those two reasons. So oftentimes what happens is if they find enough to remove you, they will give you an option of saying, hey, we'll give you the chance to resign on your own terms. Happens all the time. It's a thing that what's your guy in West Virginia?
Bob Huggins.
And he fighting it right now because he's like, I wasn't given a choice. They made me resign.
Exactly.
But it's usually they making you resign because you done did something stupid. In the Huggins case, he got busted with a DUI for the 55th time. So, when I hear certain things, I'm like, oh, okay, something definitely happened. Now, we don't know what. They're going out of their way to say it wasn't criminal behavior. They're going out of their way to say that. I can't say definitely it was or what. I don't know that. There have been no charges filed against him. He ain't been arrested. So as far as I know, he hadn't done nothing criminally wrong, but he violated some sort of policy.
So that's first question. Get it. Next question. The players. You said something about Ryan Poles. Are the players just young, or we're not good enough at the skill positions where you need better players? I'm not going to go to the quarterback first.
Okay.
Well, let's go to the trenches.
There you go.
Is the line offense and defense good enough for NFL standards?
It's not good enough for them to win games right now. Again, you've got one sack all year. But it's a problem that you knew about back in training camp. Everybody kept saying, well, who's going to put the pressure on the opposing team quarterback? They've been saying that. They were saying that during the preseason, which is why they signed my man at the last minute. But they only got one sack in game 3. That's 12 quarters of football. You got one sack. And the truth of the matter is, it ain't even about the sack. You ain't even getting pressures. You ain't even getting pressures at this point.
You're not getting pressure. So that's the defensive line. You're not getting pressure. So let's go offensive line. Offensive line, Jay. Is the offensive line good enough? I know we have a couple of injuries. Is the offensive line good enough? I heard a stat. They said Fields was holding on to the ball as a quarterback the longest out of any quarterback in the NFL. They said he was holding on to it the longest. So is it the line letting him down, or is he not seeing certain things he needs to see?
Combination of both. But what I will say is that the line, to me, has been playing. And again, I think since I've become a Dolphin fan, I've completely detached myself away emotionally from the Bears. I can see things differently than people still emotionally attached. I think the line actually hasn't been as horrible as people think they've been. I think this line has given him time in certain circumstances, and other times they've been bad. However, what I will say is that this line has also gone through a lot of injuries. It'll be interesting to see what it's like when they actually get their full line together so that they can gel and play. But even doing so, that's going to take a couple games in order for them, to kind of feel right. So the line play, what I will say about the line play is good enough for them not to be as terrible offense as they are. I think they should definitely be putting up more offensive numbers, even with the line in the condition that it's in. I don't care what anybody says. You can do better than what they're producing. I'm not saying they should be going out winning games, especially against the Chiefs, but they should be playing better, man. The Bears got to play better at a certain point. Everybody out there getting a paycheck, everybody out there a professional football player, you got to do the work. That's what I will say about the line, because that's what you asked me about the line.
Got you. Now, I'm a stat guy. I pull up stats.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the quarterback.
Okay.
Eventually we got to come to the. Let me read you these stats before you ask. Justin Fields stats. His completion rate, 58%, 31st in the NFL. Sack rate, 12.9, 32nd in the NFL. Interceptions, 4, tied at 29th, tied for 29th for interceptions. Ratings, 67.7, 30 seconds. Sacks, missed sack 13 times, tied for 32nd in the NFL.
All right.
After 3 games, and hearing these stats, what's your assessment? Too early, give him more time, or what?
I'm not assessing Justin off for these 3 games this season. I'm assessing him as a quarterback who has started in 28, I think, NFL games, played in the NFL games.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, so here's what I'll say. He's been given 28 chances to play in an NFL game, many of those starting quarterback. I'm not seeing what his supporters are seeing. I'm not seeing it. And I'm looking from a completely objective eye.
Talk to him.
It's clear he does not know how to read defenses. That is clear. We know that part. It's clear he's extremely athletic and extremely talented. He's got a strong enough arm to make the deep throws, to make pretty much any NFL throw, sideline to sideline. But if he cannot read the defenses, and quarterback is a thinking position, and it's 2 things I criticize him and why I say I don't think he is their franchise quarterback. 1, he doesn't read team defenses. 2, I don't see him inspiring other players on the offense. I don't see leading other players on the offense. I just don't see it. I do not see it during the games when you need him going to the sidelines when they're not on the field. Hey, bro, I need you to do this. Watch this. You never see that from him. When I see him coming off the field, he looks dejected. He looks in his own world. It's very similar to Mitch Trubisky. And so the one stat that I saw, and I meant to pull that and put it on the show because it's very telling. Both Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky basically started and played 1 full year college, that senior year, that last year. I don't think they got enough reps in college to be able to see all the stuff that they needed to see. I think it's unfair for people to criticize them where they were drafted. I always thought that was unfair of Trubisky. It's not his fault the Bears drafted him where they drafted him. It ain't Justin Fields' fault that the Bears drafted him where they drafted him. I honestly do not think the young man is your franchise quarterback. However, I also don't know who your damn options are at this point. But the Bears need to make a move. The trade deadline, you still got some weeks. You need to make a move because you got to find somebody to know what you got. I think you've got enough of Justin Fields at this point to see what you got. We've given him a whole bunch of leeway here. Everybody loved him. You fell in love with his athleticism and all that. If I were a Bears fan, I would say I would like to see what else we can come up with and go from there. I actually think Justin Fields might be a better quarterback if he went to another team and got completely away from Chicago, a different coaching staff, a city. You know how it's like when in all sports, like if a player goes from somewhere like New York to Cleveland or to San Diego, all of a sudden they get better because you don't have the media people on you. You don't have the fans on you like you got in Chicago, Boston, Philly, New York. He might do better in a smaller market with a completely different team where the expectations on him are not so high. He may actually do better somewhere else. I do not see him this year being successful in Chicago. I think there's too much dysfunction within the organization. I think there's too much stuff that he needs that they cannot provide him via coaching and personnel that will make him successful here this year. I could be wrong. Maybe I will be wrong. I don't see it. I see what he reminds me of, and this was the comparisons I made. Back when you were single, long time ago before.
When you and I used to go to Chick Rick's and the Cotton Club and Nick's Rick. Come on, okay. Now you got me. Okay.
It's like when you were single.
Sit up a little bit. Let me sit up.
And you always saw like that the woman, or in the case of ladies, a guy. You're like, he got a lot of potential. They got a lot of potential.
She might be all right.
Got a nice job. Okay.
She got the black card. Okay.
Yeah, she got all the teeth. She a good person.
She got a 401k. Okay.
Right. It was a dude. He ain't got a criminal record. He all right.
Working.
And you're like, okay, this could work. But then it never really happens. Like, it's never the connection that you want it to be. But you keep giving them extra time instead of just saying, you know what, this ain't going to work. I don't know the reason why. It just ain't working. The faster you can recognize that and say, you know what, this ain't going to work, and move on, the quicker you are to finding your future husband or wife. Because if you keep holding on to that potential, because they're giving you just enough to keep hanging on. It's one of the worst places to be in dating. It's like purgatory. And that's what I think where the fan base is with Justin Fields right now. He gives you just enough flashes, just enough to show you what his potential could be. Just keeping people saying, no, we gotta kind of hold on to it. We gotta give him more time. Instead of saying, you know what, I could be wrong, but I don't think this one's gonna work. And I don't think it's fair to you. And I know it ain't fair to me. Let's just go our separate way. That's just my personal objective opinion on what I'm thinking.
This is when I need the super back. I need the football guy, because he said something in his press conference, Jay. And what you said, Jay, you said it eloquently. You said it great. You took your time. You broke it down. I'm proud of you. But in that press conference a couple of weeks ago, he said something. You correct me if I'm wrong. Did he not say this? My coaches, they have me thinking too much. They have me doing A, B, C, and D. As a quarterback, aren't you supposed to think about this progression, that progression? They in cover 2. They playing man. Yeah, Sean, I need to ask you that. Sean, as a quarterback has to make a lot of reads, right? They in cover 2, cover 3. If they take away this, I got to do that right. That's what he said in his press conference. He made me kind of nervous when they said, I need to stop thinking so much. I need to play, right? He said something on those lines, right? I got a little nervous because I'm like, that's the position where you have to think quick on your feet. And hopefully you have enough instincts where you can. Okay, they taking away this, I go to this option. Talk to me about that, Sean. Did that make you nervous, or am I reading into too much of what he said?
You're reading into too much. You're a coach, Lance. When you bombard a player with too much information, when you try and change what they do best, that's where the thinking comes in. Okay? What Justin Fields does best right now, okay, is he runs the ball very well. Okay? He can pass the ball very well, but when you're telling him you must win from the pocket, if you're in his press conference, he said we worked all off season about staying in the pocket, winning the pocket. Very similar to 2019 and Mitch Trubisky with that regime. Remember, Mitch would have a wide open field, 8 yards for the first down. There's nobody within 12 yards, and he's still in the pocket, and we're all screaming, run the goddamn ball. Run. This is what is taught to him. This is what is coached in him. And I don't know if I said it on here, but I know I've said it on my show and other shows as well. Justin's a good soldier. Okay? He will do what, remember, he came up, his dad's a cop. And he's not that type of guy who's going to he don't have that asshole in him like we talked about. Okay, he's being coached, and there's a couple things that's going on. Like, I haven't given up on Justin at all. Justin is a phenomenal player. You've seen him in high school, you've seen him in college. Okay, you've seen him make some phenomenal throws here, but when they start telling you, when they start changing things for you, Changing the things that made you successful. Last year, he was successful because of his running. Now, the team wasn't successful, but he didn't play. He couldn't play defense. All right, and that was a hell of a lot more than the Justin Fields. All right, that was bigger than Justin Fields' defense. This guy, you need to let him run more. Maybe not as much, but you want to build off that. Don't take the most explosive weapon in the NFL from last year and literally put it in your arsenal. Just leave it in your arsenal. Leave it in the shed. Why would you do that? Okay, so they're not playing to his strengths. I think they need to build up more. They're not running the ball. They had 15 carries between two running backs.
Yeah.
They both average over 4 yards a carry. That's gutsy. So if you run 25 times, guess what? Now play action is different. All right. If you put him under center, now play action is a lot different. So when you talk about coaches putting players in a position to be successful, this is what we're talking about. This is a classic example of not putting your player in a position to be successful. And I'm not going to sit here but before I go any further, Justin needs to play better, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay. He's not the perfect quarterback right now. His targets, he's not. But his receivers aren't catching all his balls either. DJ Moore, one of the most reliable receivers in the NFL, drops a beautiful dime. You couldn't have handed that ball better to DJ Moore. Chase Claypool, another one, drops the ball. Okay, this is a contract for you, homie. You better be catching everything. Okay, so some of those things. Imagine if he hits that one. If DJ holds on to that one, all right. Guess what? That next play. You remember what the next play was? Interception. That interception doesn't happen. Okay, Chase Claypool. All these things. So, and I'm not making excuses for Justin. This is just the way it falls. Justin has to play better. Okay, and he has to say. And if you're Luke Getsy and you're saying, okay, if Justin is having problems reading this, let's not forget some receivers aren't open at times, and other times they are. You should go 1 read, 2 reads, run. First read, second read, run. Can you answer me why they're not moving the pocket? They didn't move. They didn't roll the pocket out for the first 2 series. Why not? They had what four called runs? Only 4, 3 or 4. For that dude?
You're actually making my point too, Sean. It's so many ifs. It's so much dysfunction just around him in general that he's in a situation where he can't be successful. That's what I'm saying. It's like, regardless of the whys, it's not happening. So at a certain point, for both parties' sakes, you might need to say, you know what? We're going to start all over with a whole new coaching staff. We can't put you through that because you've already been through enough here. So we're going to bring in a new regime who they can bring in a quarterback who they want from the beginning, and we can cut you loose so that you can get with another team. I think that's the way it's going to actually end up, as hard as that may be for people to see. But I don't think it's fair to Justin if you end up torching this coaching staff, which there's a good chance you will at the end of the season. Then you're now going to bring in his 3rd coach in his career, and he may have to learn a whole new system again.
But not only him that has to learn it. Now you have the entire offense needs to learn a new system.
Yeah.
Not just him. So, and I said that today on my show with Eric. I'm like, you know what would probably, I said, you know what would be apropos or something like that. I said, if the Bears let him go, he goes to another team and another team just says, thank you. They'll send us Christmas cards every year saying thank you, because here's the thing that we don't have.
Yep.
We don't have a developer of quarterbacks. Luke Getsy can't develop a quarterback because you would have seen it already. You would have seen it last year and this year. You would have seen it. You cannot develop quarterbacks. So there's going to be a coach out there or a team out there that has a good offensive coordinator, has a good quarterbacks coach, and they're going to say, oh, come to Papa, because we know exactly what to do with you. We know exactly how to play to your strengths. We know exactly how you do how you succeeded in high school and in college. Come to Papa. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, here's something that's really concerning me about that, right? I think this where numbers could play tricks on you a little bit. I think his record is what I want to say 5-23 as a starter, somewhere along those lines.
Possibly,
But you gutted the whole team last year, basically.
You did, yep.
So you really didn't put him in a situation where he could thrive last year, right? I'm not ready to give up on him, but I understand. And like you said, Sean, do we really develop quarterbacks? Because when I look over the history, Jim McMahon, Jay Cutler, K. McNabb,
Let's look at
Eric Kramer.
Well, and I actually agree with Sean, even though we're in different parallels, but I agree with him. And I'll use my team as an example. Tua under Brian Flores, who I still to this day will defend the brother for that they wrongly terminated him. However, look at what Tua is doing under Mike McDaniel. He is flourishing now. They're talking about after 3 games, he might be an MVP candidate. We just didn't want the boy to die. I'm still
stay away from him. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Just don't fall, brother. You'll be all right. But so I agree with Sean that the coaching can definitely turn him around, because the quarterback on my team, I've seen it with my own eyes, the benefit of it. What I'm saying is, I don't think the Bears have the structure to do that. I don't think they have the courage to say, you know what? This ain't working with our coach. This was a bad hire. We're going to get rid of. They ain't never done that. They don't never cut nobody off hardly in the middle. Or they ain't going to admit that they were wrong. And again, this is going to be interesting to see if Kevin Warren is really in charge or not.
Bingo.
He can look at this. He can look at this and say, I didn't hire y'all.
But because Sean, maybe you know different. I don't know. Did he pick the players though? How much autonomy is that the correct word? How much say so does the head coach of football have in picking the players, Sean?
He has a lot, all right, but it literally comes down to the general manager. But the general manager, and you've heard Ryan Poles talk that they've worked hand in hand, all right, and so these are guys, and some of it falls on Eberflus because he's like, hey, if you can get these guys, great. And then it ultimately falls on Poles because he's the one who actually picks them. Yep. Now, let me see if I didn't do this, and I'm going to change the background for a second. Pardon me, but I hope I didn't delete it. Here. I did not. Look at the defensive investment that we have. 2022, defense, Kyler Gordon, starter, cornerback. 2022, safety, Jaquan Brisker, starter, safety. 2023, Gervon Dexter, rotational guy, D-line. 2023, Tyreek Stevenson, starter, cornerback. 2023, Zach Pickens, D-line, rotational guy. Tremaine Edmonds, starter, linebacker. Yannick Ngakoue, starter, DN. DeMarcus Walker, starter, DN. TJ Edwards, starter, linebacker. Justin Jones last year, starter, defensive tackle. These are all players. This 8 starters on this team, and we can't stop a damn. You mean you talk about employing the Swiss cheese defense? They're employing the Swiss cheese defense, and this is after you revamped this defense, after you have a head coach who made his name as a defender, and this is what you got. The only thing I shouldn't say the only. You upgraded DJ in the wide receiver room, okay, but this falls on Poles. Did you give too much to Yannick Ngakoue, DeMarcus Walker, TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, Justin Jones? Did you waste picks on Gervon Dexter and Zach Pickens and Tyreek Stevenson? Because he can't, if he's not knocking himself out of the game, he's getting a penalty for illegal, excess, rough. What is it? What do they call it now? Unnecessary roughness. You know what I mean? Or targeting. Yeah. So it's a whole organizational cluster mess right now.
Yes.
But guys, let me ask y'all this. You show guys says 22, 20. Have the guys had enough time to show us what they can do? Let me ask that. Have they? Is anybody showing promise?
So let me say
we're
this.
Saying 22, 23. They just played what?
Have they had enough time to gel? Probably not.
No.
Okay.
Enough time to show me individually that you're a damn player, that you got some heart, that you got some courage. You gonna work. That's whenever you step on the field, Lance, or whenever you step on the court in any sport. I'm not seeing that. That's what I'm saying. And that concerns me because that means to me that the organization is allowing it. This is very, I hate I'm about to say this. I really do. But I have to say this.
All right, let's hear it.
This is starting to remind me a lot of the 2023 White Sox.
Oh, I made that comparison as well.
Starting to feel like I've got this group of talented individuals.
A lot of talented individuals and no team.
Play together as a team, which is why they are not winning. And I really have held that comment for about 4 weeks now.
No, I said it. I've said it, Jay. Yeah.
It's scary. And I'm like, it's too much talent.
Here's the problem. Jason, Lance. Here's the one problem. We don't have an identity.
Nope. And neither do the White Sox.
I was going to go ahead.
If you give it an identity, if you decide what your identity is going to be, you determine what your identity is going to be. Okay. What did Lovie Smith say? We get off the bus. What? Running. So you knew we were about to punch you in the mouth. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay. Last year, who led the NFL in rushing? The Bears. But now you don't do that to Justin Fields to help him. You got three good running backs in the backfield, and the more they keep giving this God blessed rookie the ball, the more this son of a biscuit keeps impressing me. Yep. Okay. So you don't give him the ball. He got 7 carries. The other guy,
Khalil Herbert.
Khalil, I was like the love Mac. Khalil Herbert. He had 6 carries. All right. It was 7 and 8 carries or something like it was 7. One had 7, one had 8. They both averaged over 4 yards a carry. You're not going to give them the ball. Why don't they have 30 carries? Why don't they have 30 carries at 4.8, 4.5 yards a carry? Because I don't know. I'm not a great mathematician, but you get 4.5 yards.
Well,
that's pretty good.
I'll give you an answer on that one, Sean. It's because you were down 30 from the halftime, so you probably.
But that doesn't.
But I get what you're saying, though.
But you start early. Why didn't you run the first down? The first quarter. If you're only, you know what I mean. Like you stop running, it's 3 and out, and all of a sudden your defense is back out there. If these guys are getting 4.5 yards a carry, give them the God blessed ball. One works, it tires their defense, keeps your offense out there, and 2, more importantly, it keeps that joker called Patrick Mahomes off the God blessed field.
Yep, I agree.
Keeps him off the field. It shortens the game. Clock is running. And you don't have the firepower, then you shorten the game. And Getzy still hasn't created that, and I can't wait because I'll be in the press box this Sunday. I'll be able to ask questions at the game on Sunday, and next Thursday, or maybe this Thursday, I'm going to see if I can get down there to get in the at Hallis Hall, and I'm going to ask them, what is your identity? Have you decided yet? Or why haven't you made your identity the run game like you did last year when you've got enough running backs here? Okay, how do you get an offensive lineman to pass block really well? You let him beat his guy downfield. You let him run downhill, day in, all night. And now they're running the ball. Guess what? When there's a different takeoff, when you're a defensive lineman, they're running the ball and they're passing the ball, completely different takeoff from the offensive lineman, completely. And they haven't decided what they want to do, and that's the issue.
I think coming from Chicago, most of us like a team that's like grit and grind, toughness. Have they shown y'all toughness yet? Is anything about the team we said, ooh, they tough. Ooh, like Miami, fastest team on turf.
They ain't got no defense, so you ain't knocking nobody out. So that's one thing.
We ain't touched the quarterback.
Second thing is you ain't running the ball. So those 2 things go hand in hand with grit and toughness, running the ball and a smothering defense. You know what? Just an average defense. Just give me an average defense at this point. And it'll help. It's just they're not getting it done. I don't like the system. Everything seems dysfunctional. The damn defensive coordinator resigned under suspicious circumstances. It's just a hot mess. And then people are asking them to win a football game. You cannot do it. It's like at the university you coached at, Lance. It's so much you can do when there's so much chaos swirling around you.
So you should know exactly how that feels, Lance.
Exactly.
You can't expect players, all right, when there's so much craziness going around in the front office. Your defensive coach resigns, and one it's because of the rumors were child pornography. Then it's not child pornography. Then there's a raid at his house. Then there's no confirmation for raid at his house. Then there's a raided soldier at Hallis Hall. Then there's not a raid at Hallis Hall. I mean, all these things that are going around, and then you talk about keeping you out. They're human. You don't think it affects them? You don't think they hear all this stuff? You don't think like they're thinking, man, was Coach really a pedophile? Was Coach really one of those dudes? Well, you know what I mean? And then you got some people like the John Zagel who falsely reported, and he backed up on it. He doubled down. I stand by my reporting. Well, there was no raid at Hallis Hall. Peanut Tillman was not involved.
It's a mess. It's just a mess.
So you don't think the players see this and hear it? Hell yeah.
And that's why I said I don't think Justin Fields can be successful with the Bears. He's been through basically too much trauma in his 3 years. I think he cannot be successful here in this culture. And that's going to hurt Bears fans. It's going to hurt the team because I agree with Sean. If he goes somewhere else and they say, and you know who I'm thinking who would love to have him? Who would love to have Justin Fields? Mike Tomlin.
In New Orleans. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hell yeah.
Mike Tomlin would
Kenny Pickens, get the
exactly. He would be
the hell out of here. Get your ass out of here.
Right. Justin just played at Ohio State, which is a stone's throw away from Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin, who need a quarterback, he would need one since Roethlisberger left. He would be like, come here, son. Now, first thing we're gonna do is get in this video room, and you're gonna learn how to learn how to read these defense. If Mike Tomlin got to sit there himself with him, he would do it. I'm telling you, if he go to a coach like that, he will be a different player. I don't see it happening in Chicago. That's my point that I'm telling everybody. I'm not telling people he'll never be a good NFL quarterback. I'm saying right now he is not an NFL quarterback. He's not going to be able to get there in the system with these coaches, with that culture right now at Hallis Hall. And that is the hard reality that Bears fans are going to have to face. And that's why I say get what you can now, because you can probably get a good price for them. But you need to retool this whole thing from the coaching staff, probably up to the manager on down. And I know y'all don't want to go through that, but, the Dolphins did it. So people be tripping on me. I'm like, wait a minute. I left for the Dolphins before we had McDaniel, before we started getting success. I went there because I like Flores, okay? They fired him. I was unhappy about it, but I stuck with him, and I see what has happened, man. What Tua has done, how McDaniel was running that over. Did you see the one touchdown where he was looking backwards? He did like a no-look point guard pass to the running back. Right. That is innovative. That is being creative. That is using the players' skills to the best of their knowledge. We had a rookie running back run for 200 yards yesterday. I mean, I'm not seeing that with the Bears. And that's the only thing I want to say. We only got 7 minutes left, and I want to get to the last two topics. But I think we're all seeing the same things, even though we're all approaching it from different angles.
Yeah.
And I just think that Chicago deserves better. I think the fan base deserves better. And it's not going to be pretty for the next few weeks. So.
And here's the last thing, and I'll say is this. Sure. Here's where Kevin Warren needs to step in. Here's where Kevin Warren needs to step in and say, look, you adjust your God-blessed offense around this kid. All right? You adjust your offense around this kid. Because I'll tell you what, they'll let the coaching staff go. Kevin Warren, he'll make sure that this coaching staff will go way before Justin Fields goes. Because Justin Fields is a phenomenal player. Okay, but you just can't overcoach players. Lance, you're a coach. You know that. You've seen other players in other programs that have been overcoached by their coaches. And they're like, Coach, I can't. I got too much going on. I can't play free. Right? This is what they're doing to Justin. And when you have a talent like that, you maximize it. Now, if you get the right coach, you get a Brian Dable here. I know he's in New York, but you get a Brian Dable or you get someone like that, and he comes in and then Justin doesn't flourish, then you know what? Okay, sorry, kid. You're just not meant to be. But you put him in the best position, and trust me, that coaching staff will be gone way before Justin Fields will be gone.
All right.
And Kevin Warren should step in and say, help this kid.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on everybody. All right. Couple more topics. We only got a few minutes left in the show, and I want to get to this. You hear this news yesterday?
What news is that, cuz? Talk to me.
They talked about the Super Bowl that's going to be held in Vegas this year.
Oh, my man.
Oh, man, who's your man?
My man, Usher. You're not talking about Usher, are you?
Usher T. Raymond, baby. Usher has been officially announced as the 2024 halftime show headliner. And you know why I'm happy?
Why?
Because when me and Sharice was in Vegas, I was going to go see him in his residency, and I saw the price of them tickets. So now I can see it for free in Vegas. Just wait for halftime show.
See, because your big cousin saw. See, because your big cousin and his wife, we saw Usher T. Raymond. Ooh, he puts on the show. He puts on the show. Shout out to Usher. Jay, I might have to go to the Super Bowl. Vegas?
Yeah, you and
Super
everybody
Bowl?
else.
Hey, good luck finding a $5,000 ticket.
Well, I'm putting it on
cheap
sports.
seats.
I'm putting it on Sports Zone Chicago. We put it on
Oh, you
Sports
put it on
Zone
a corporate
Chicago.
account?
Yeah, we put it on a corporate account.
Oh, God. Everybody and mama going to be in Vegas. That's going to be very interesting. But that's a huge honor.
Hey, way to go, Jay-Z. Since he was working Jay-Z, this is all Jay-Z.
He's been handling them halftime shows, no doubt.
Yeah, yes.
Congratulations to Usher T. Raymond. I'm looking forward to that. And I will go see him in concert one day. I just want
Need to. Great show. And that young lady has anyway, I'll tell you about that in a different show. Go ahead.
When we pull up on the stage for the Super Bowl. Ruin the relationship. All right, anyway. So, all right. Got to talk about this yesterday. And I'm not talking about this just because I'm a Dolphins fan, because it was history. My Miami Dolphins did the conga line all over the Denver Broncos. After they put up 70 damn points against the Broncos. Bears fans, it ain't just you. Trust me. Oh my God. The Broncos, high steps, moonwalk, dove, did everything they could to score on the Broncos.
Jay.
And came 3 points away from setting.
I'm cringing real quick. If you scored 70, why not go for the record? Records are made to be broken.
Funny, Lance.
If you score 70, why are we taking a knee? Go for the record.
I would have
go for the record. I wouldn't went for the record.
Faster than Lucy and Charlie Brown on the penis.
I'm going for the record. I don't care nothing about people feeling.
Sorry, Sean Payton. I apologize to you in advance, my man.
Hey,
but
man.
And what was funny, the whole time the camera crew had the camera on the kicker on the sideline. Like, is he gonna go for it? And the kicker is sitting there like, man, I'll kick this son gun in the heartbeat if you send me out there.
Hey, Jay, because really quick also, records, you only have a small margin at the right time to break a record. Why not? Like I said, you had 70. What's a couple more points?
Blowback, though, Lance, would have been tremendous.
Hey, Jay,
if
in
I'm
the
on
words,
the team and you kick a field goal on me and you up 50, somebody getting hurt. Somebody need getting
I'm going to
taken
tell
out. You know,
in the words of Bob Huggins, whose name you just mentioned, the other guys deserve to play. If the other guys come in there and play hard, so be it. They should be able to score too. It's not their fault the other team was bad.
I agree. I'd have kicked it too. All right, that's it. Wait for what's up, cuz.
Kicking it.
Everybody, me and Lance have no sportsmanship in us, apparently, his coaches. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week with our guest, Scott Powers, as we talk Blackhawks. Peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing